Welcome to The Prize Inside. A chiropractor's journey in everyday holistic health and vitality. Here, your host, Dr. Jeremy Myers, delves into the remarkable journeys of everyday people who have embraced the path to health and healing. Through his practice, Dr. Jeremy encounters inspiring stories of profound transformation and the power of true healing within each of us. Stay tuned as we discuss various holistic topics and unlock the healing potential that lies within us all.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to The Prize Inside Whole Health Weekly. Tonight, we have a special guest that I'm about to bring on, Ed Kehoe from Kehoe Martial Arts. We're going to talk some Tai Chi. I'm pretty excited about this one. So remember, there's two things before we get started. Remember to subscribe to the newsletter. Okay. So subscribe to the newsletter, Tribe1, tribe1.substack.com. There will be a lot of stuff on there from this Sunday when we went over women's hormones. So that was pretty good. And then just always remember to subscribe Rumble and YouTube get on there, subscribe for the videos so you don't miss anything. And then the last thing is jump on Spotify. I got some kind of cool notification that I had 50 downloads or something in a day, which is pretty exciting for putting it together. Now we're getting there though, but we're almost up to that subscriber thing where in Rumble, we might get up to 84, 85 people. If I get to 100, I get to have a little something. So I'm not sure what that means, but it'll be good. So remember those. And then let us bring Ed on. I'm so pumped he's doing this. His busy schedule. Ed, how you doing? Uh-oh.
I'm good.
Man.
How you
good? Might have a little issue. Might have a little issue slightly. I may have to be right back. I'll be back. Just a second.
Okay.
My college kid accidentally came in. I forgot to tell him, hey, we're going live. So it doesn't help. We have a corgi and she sounds so massive.
Right.
And she's she's like a little couch cushion. It's really close.
I know what they're like. Yeah. Yeah. We've got
everybody that comes over is looking for this huge dog. And then all of a sudden it's this little thing. And you're
our Weston's the same way. He's got an
incredibly
powerful bark, and he's very aggressive.
Yeah.
But he's a little, not even 30 pounds. He's just a little guy.
Yeah, we're not sure how much Olive weighs. It's pretty hilarious. She's a pretty big girl, but she's ours. She likes to herd us around the yard and stuff. So I always think that's great. But Ed, welcome tonight. Sorry about that introduction there. But we are going to talk about some cool things tonight. One of the reasons this whole thing is happening is because I have a patient named Tony, and Tony is an old crotchety feller. And as we're going through, I see him all the time. And we talked about he likes to do things like be in a band. His band's very good. It's pretty awesome, actually. He's a very talented player. And he's been at different, does band still stuff now, but he just was, he was like, man, he's feeling his age basically. So I kind of threw him a challenge I go find something you like, and I didn't even know that this existed, and he found you, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm doing Tai Chi. I think it was, did you do twice in a week in Battle Creek, or was it just once? But
There was a time where we were doing it at 2 different locations in Battle Creek, so he
oh
was
yes,
hitting it
and he'd
a week.
follow you, right?
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, he would just follow wherever you would go. And
Right.
and then, but the neatest thing for me as a chiropractor to watch, one of the things we lose with age in all neurology is balance. People don't
Mhm.
realize that. And so that's why most of the, the injuries later in life are falls, and
Sure.
so once he started with you though, I mean, it was a massive difference. Like you could really notice the strength, the balance, and it was a couple months in. And I think that is one of the neatest things about what you teach. I want you to give us a little history of who you are, and
Sure.
how you got started on this journey, because it's a pretty cool. It's Kehoe Martial Arts, right? So you not just
Yeah.
Tai Chi, but Qigong as well, which I was like, "Ooh, that's really cool." So all of
Yeah.
it's cool. Yeah. So go ahead and tell us about you a little bit without me
Well,
talking.
I mean, the reason that I got initially into martial arts, and this is like 45 years ago when I was like middle school age, I had a couple older siblings that had, looked into things like karate and taekwondo and stuff like that. And of course, I've got 4 older brothers. So that kind of got me motivated to learn some self defense anyway.
You
But
needed
I
major
started,
self-defense.
yeah, we did a lot of that growing up. And so I got into Okinawan karate at the Okinawan Karate Academy in Kalamazoo. And I started, like I said, yeah, it's over 45 years ago now down there.
Wow.
And I still go down there twice a week. My instructor is still running the place. He just turned 85. And
Wow.
it's what started my journey. About 35 years ago, I started to look into the internal martial arts of things like Tai Chi.
Mhm.
And I just kind of felt like there was something valuable there as far as the health benefit of it, but also it enhanced everything else physically that I've been practicing. Because
Correct.
Tai Chi really teaches you how to really relax and really use your whole structure within every single movement and not move in a segmented way so everything stays connected. And that's one of the reasons that the balance improves so dynamically with people is they start to understand their structure better and they are,
Mhm.
are understanding where their weight is and how their body's aligned when they move and change direction and things like that. So there's physical aspects to the balance improvement, but there's also a lot of mindfulness stuff that goes on where I talk to them about
Correct.
structure, their alignment, how they're carrying themselves, where their weight is, to be more aware of how their weight is moving through their body as they're moving. And that's a big improvement for folks. And so when I first started to teach Tai Chi, it was something that I thought I'd do as something fun on the side.
Hmm.
And within the first year, I had to decide to do it full time because I started off with a few classes, and then 6 months
Wow.
later, I had 15, and then within the first year, there were over 20. So I did about 25 or so classes a week for close to 20 years before the shutdowns in
Wow.
2020. And so I've been teaching. Well, gosh, Tai Chi, I've been teaching over 26 years now, creeping up on
Wow.
27. And since the shutdowns, I started teaching back up again just within the last few years,
Mhm.
just a handful of classes a week. But I've always found it's been pretty powerful for people. People are benefiting from it in a lot of ways, especially folks that are not as active
Right.
and they need to have something that they can do that isn't super impactful, isn't hard on the joints, but still enhances all the things they need, like balance and circulation and immune system and all that type of thing.
Right. Because for me, it's like when we lose our balance as we age, it's one of
Mhm.
these things that not only are you doing that, something, and I don't know, this is a weird question, but in Tai Chi, is there a lot of energy talk or world? Because in our chiropractic world, we understand, and you do too. In any martial arts, you know this too, that we have a biofield that kind of connects around us, right? That's how much energy we have kind of proposing. And when you were saying that, like awareness and flow, it's kind of like awareness and flow within your body, like we call it in this innate intelligence is within us.
Sure.
That's kind of our chiropractic stuff, right? And understanding that awareness in movement is such a big deal. Like, so a good example is for me in my brain, I always think, okay, you just hit the word. I was like, oh my God, awareness of movement is so different than people understand. So think of like people that become overweight or, those kind of things. It's because they lost the awareness to know when they're full. Right. So that is one reason that, and now we're blaming it on a chemical and all this other stuff, like this hormone is off, but I go, but it's naturally created it to be off because if we would have listened from the very beginning, we'd know when we're full, we'd have this awareness that we're full and we'd be done. Right. And so with movement patterns, I'm like, man, you hit me. That is exactly what Tai Chi is. It's a movement flow. It's not about just moving the foot, right? It's moving the body with the foot.
Right. Whoa. It's connected, hands to feet, hips to shoulders, knees to elbows. It crosses over. I talk a lot about enhanced circulation through the practice. And usually the first thing people think of when you hear the word circulation is your blood flow. Now, that's part of it. But then there's all the fluids outside the system of the blood flow that are enhanced through the slow, deliberate movement of Tai Chi. The immune system, lymphatic system, the synovial fluid that lubricates your joints, bring nutrients to your tendons and ligaments. A lot of people don't understand that there's all these fluids in your body that if we don't move, they don't circulate. And so the other thing that circulates, and Tai Chi is based on theories of traditional Chinese medicine, which has the idea of like things like acupuncture address it, the flow of your energy. And you can direct your energy with your mind. And I simplify it a lot for people because if they're just doing a class a week, I talk to them about how if you put your attention somewhere in your body, your energy will go there. It's natural. It's not like you have to do something magical to have that happen. And so the more that you practice and the more relaxed you are and the less thought energy you have and the more you're just doing and not thinking, the more your energy flows just naturally. And you're talking about eating. I mean, I talk to people about that quite a bit and say, after you eat, it's a good idea to feel what does that do to your energy? If you eat something and you need to take a nap, it's probably not something you should eat a lot of. If it's something that seems to be energizing you and your body assimilates and digests it easier and doesn't sap your strength, that's probably something good. And it's a real oversimplification, but I think a lot of people need that because if you get too complicated, they think, oh, that's too much. I'm overwhelmed. I can't even apply it. So, but the flow is a big deal. I don't like try and say to people, hey, if you don't feel your chi flowing, there's something wrong with you. Because sometimes it takes a while for people to actually experience that. It might not happen right away. They got so much tension in their body that things aren't flowing,
Exactly. And like where, if you watch a dancer or somebody that's flowing that whole section, right? Their entire body moves with this intuition too, like a pro dancer or anybody in the martial arts. I'm just amazed. One time we were at one of my service clubs, we were invited to do, concessions for, I think it was Hapkido.
Oh yeah.
It was a big tournament, but it was with like not weapons, but they were using like a cane. Like, so these two kids were out practicing.
Yeah.
And the flow they were using to use this cane as like a weapon at that point. Right. They go from and they were like probably 14, 15, but they were, we couldn't get enough of watching this, because it was just so flowy. And that's what's so beautiful about, just the martial arts in general. And Tai Chi, I just think, it's such an underrated with our part of it, I think is honestly is that, and we push that on the prize inside. I was like, we push ourselves so hard in these extreme. It's like if we're not working out yesterday, we decide tomorrow we're going to work out so hard that we can't move, and there always has to be like pain or something associated to make sure you did something. Where Tai Chi, everybody's like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna be sore and all these. I go, but you're gonna move better. Like what?
Yeah,
for me,
it's funny you mentioned the cane. I had a group earlier tonight, and once a month we do an alternative warm-up routine, Tai Chi cane warm-ups.
Okay.
So yeah, we do different movements with the cane or the stick, based on Tai Chi movement, sword, spear, all that kind of stuff. It's fun for the students to play around with that stuff.
Yeah, that is sweet. So
yeah,
I don't want to. You don't mind if I embarrass you a little bit, do you?
Because
your website has this. I want to show people how Ed moves, because this is sweet. Like,
sure.
There is a video on here that is amazing. Like, all right, hang on. Let me get this up. Well, hopefully you guys can see just his front of his your website's amazing, by the way. Just let you know that.
Thank you.
It's like, and you can kind of see it through what he's doing. But remember, Kehoe Martial Arts. So do you do videos and stuff too? Do you have some videos?
Yeah, there's for I don't know how many years I did a short video breakdown of individual movements every week, and that's on the website and on the YouTube channel. There's also downloadable videos on the website that are full routines, like Tai Chi short form, Qigong, seated Tai Chi, Tai Chi cane exercise, things like that. So there's videos that you can download that are full routines. This video here is kind of funny. That's at a place where I used to do a wellness program for their employees, and they let me use it's at the Fetzer Institute in Kalamazoo.
Oh, okay.
And you see this overhead shot. They had a drone.
That's
so
cool.
Those shots were taken with a drone. And this one here, the drone's flying right at my head. It's going straight towards me. And so that was very interesting. These guys had a lot of fun filming me.
Right.
The cool thing about the videos they shot that were instructional was I had done those routines so many thousands of times that we did 3 full instructional videos in one day, all in one take, because I just don't have to think about it.
Right.
You do something so many hundreds of thousands of times, it's just there. But there's elements there of Bagua and Xingyi. Bagua is a circle walking. Xingyi and Bagua are 2 lesser known internal martial arts, but they're very much related and connected to Tai Chi.
Right. I want to show people this because if you're paying attention to the video, if you watch him from the drone shot down, as a chiropractor, I'm like, oh my God, look at his center of gravity as his body's moving. Watch this. Like that, your spine is like not move, like it's over its center the entire time. That is wild to me. Like, that's why when I got on your website, I'm like, oh my God, that is really good. Like, because everything's centered mass, right? I'll stop sharing now, but the center mass thing is such a big deal. Holy smokes.
We try and teach people that alignment and how I talk to them about their joints being aligned, but I also talk to them about moving from their center.
Yeah.
And I talk to them, if you're standing on one foot, don't think about your foot. You're not standing on your foot. Your entire body is supported by the entire earth. Your center is connected to your leg, to your shoulder. Everything is there. And so everything sinks down and roots into the earth, except the crown of the head lifts and smashes the sky. So you get that opposing force up and down. And that's why that spine can stay and rotate, and you can stay centered with your movement. And this is a very basic martial art concept. A lot of martial arts never learn it because they may stick to the mechanical aspects of things instead of learning how the internal stuff works. Right. So a lot of the karate guys that I work with down at the dojo, I'm showing them this kind of stuff all the time because some of them won't do Tai Chi because, it's really slow and it's a little too gentle, it's not rough. Like,
Right. Well, and
karate.
that's the hardest thing because and I swear to you, this is true in chiropractic stuff. A lot of times, if I tell somebody to do something very simple,
Yeah,
it typically works out as a better movement pattern. Let's say I had to send you home, do a few exercises, right?
sure.
Over my 26 years, I'm going, oh my gosh, the ones that win the battle are, let's say you have a knee problem. I make you get on a swing and swing your leg. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like back and
sure.
forth and just do that. Two things. One, it's fun. And
Right.
you you're kind of like just letting that gravity do its thing, right? And I get
Sure.
more results out of that versus like, okay, let's bend it until the pain, right?
Sure.
And then take another belt, put that in your mouth, and then we'll just keep going and then
Right.
see how did that do? That's the
Right.
kind of thing. That's what I've always loved about watching Tai Chi. In all guilt part, I was like in the Qigong too. I want to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about that a little bit tonight as well, but
Sure.
I haven't done it yet. And now that I have somebody that I'm like, oh my God, I'm going, even though it's in Tony's thing, I might have to go to a different class, but just because of him.
Well, the library where Tony goes, we did a summer program that's going to go through August for Tai Chi.
Okay.
But in September and October, we're actually doing Qigong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the library.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to do that. So let's talk. I don't want to switch because this is way too cool. but we got to teach people about Qigong too, because
Sure.
it's so let's talk about that. So Tai Chi, we know, kind of give your explanation of that probably first. Like you kind of did already, but it's very nice and balanced, right? And then what's the difference between Tai Chi and Qigong?
The main difference, Qigong is older. It's more rooted in Chinese medicine, and it's a much broader topic than Tai Chi. Tai Chi is origin of the movement is from martial arts systems. There's 5 main family systems of Tai Chi. They're all connected to a family from China, and there's variations within those systems. So each system usually has 2, 3 forms of movement, shorter and longer forms, that kind of thing. Some people will actually refer to Tai Chi as the dance of Qigong, because the benefits are very, very much similar. Tai Chi probably a slight edge in the area of balance enhancement, because Qigong, a lot of times, most of the Qigong routines, you'll be doing a Qigong movement and you'll do multiple repetitions of it, and then you'll do another movement. So you won't necessarily be doing a movement sequence where you go and move through space as much.
Sure.
So not as much footwork. So I generally start people off with what's called the 8 brocades, which is one of the most widely practiced Tai or Qigong sequences out there. There's many variations of it. I know 4 different versions of it. There's a lot of benefits to it because each piece of the 8 brocades enhances a specific organ energy system within your body. So, your lungs, your heart, your liver, your kidneys, all these different meridians are enhanced through these different movements. The movements are done slowly, deliberately, in a gentle, relaxed way, and you connect the breath with it. So some people even think of it kind of like Chinese yoga.
Right.
Some of the movements in Qigong, you can see the same movements are done in yoga and vice versa.
Wow.
But Qigong is definitely a broader topic because it includes pretty much every warm-up routine in Chinese martial arts is Qigong. And the warm-ups we do down at the Okinawan Karate Academy are variations of the 8 brocades. Nobody knows that, but that's what they are. And the forms of some of the karate systems were taken from southern China, and most of the Taekwondo systems were taken from northern China. So sometimes they say, northern Taekwondo, southern karate. And so there's a lot of connection and crossover there. You won't get Chinese and Japanese people to agree on that, but that's the real truth behind the history of it. And Qigong, I feel like for some people is easier to learn because you're not learning the sequence. So sometimes people have more success sooner with Qigong.
Okay.
Now, when they come to a Tai Chi class, they don't know it, but they're doing Qigong in the warm-ups and in the cool downs. I use Qigong exercise for both of that. So they're getting
Okay.
both at the same time.
Yeah.
And of course, Tai Chi is a term that most people have heard of, whereas Qigong, not so much. Like I mentioned, I teach in Portage. In June, they had me do, because they were tired of answering the question, what is Qigong? So they had me do a
Sure.
class called What is Qigong? And we had like 45 people come to it. We're doing another one in October. And
Yeah.
it's a little more informative or educational along with some movement, because I used to teach Qigong for holistic health credits at the university also,
Sure.
along with Tai Chi.
Right.
So
That's
there's a
so
lot to it. There's a lot of depth to it. In the
Yeah.
typical Qigong class, they're learning some of that, but they're learning more how to do the movements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because to me, in my world, there's this thing called muscle testing, and like we use muscle testing in our office, right? So you
Right.
use this muscle testing, and it's the version I use is we're basically going to acupuncture points to
Sure.
figure out what the muscle testing is to give you a nutrition. What I think you just described to me, I'm like, oh my God. So Qigong is essentially movements for those same points.
Yeah.
Right. So instead of giving nutrition, you would basically have these energetic points.
Yep.
You're kind of doing movements for those points. Oh,
Yeah, you're stimulating
good.
those points. One
Yeah.
of the movements, like drawing the bow, this movement here,
Right.
lung one right here. So that's your lung energy. And
Right.
it's so involved. I mean, it's lung, but there's planets, there's colors, there's seasons, there's taste.
Yeah. Right.
All those things are connected. The theories of Chinese medicine are pretty overwhelming if you start to study them.
Oh,
Lung
right.
energy is all about the grief,
Yeah.
kidney, fear. There's all these different things that are connected
Yeah.
to it.
And that's where it gets overwhelming because it's
Yeah.
so connected. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell my, with your story in COVID, I lost my mind in COVID of the untruths that were happening with
Right.
COVID, the entire world, every governmental entity, every university knew that vitamin D, C, zinc, it wasn't like a hidden image. Right. And we were hiding it. And I was like, what in the crap is happening? Like, so I lost it back then. And of course, my brain works like one reason I have a podcast after working hours is because my brain just keeps going like that. And so I'm like, oh my God. So I went and I'm a registered herbalist because I saw what Chinese medicine, the depth of that. I was like, oh my God, it might take me, herbalism. It's like kind of a journey, but it's a simpler journey. Chinese medicine is, that might take you a lifetime.
That's so funny because part of the story we didn't really cover, but when my business shut down, we had just moved, just closed on the house the first week of March of 2020. First time in my life I've been unemployed because none of my classes could meet, right?
Wow.
And so my background in martial arts, I've taught at the police academies. I was a reserve deputy in Kalamazoo. So I actually became a deputy for a few years.
Wow.
I taught them defensive tactics. I was a deputy, all that stuff. So I got COVID during that time. And, I went to the regular doctor and they just said, you need the shot, you need the shot, you need the shot.
Right.
And so the nurse at the county said, you need take D and zinc. And I was like, I never got the shot because I knew this is a cold. I'm a healthy person. I don't need that intervention. So
it was super frustrating through that time.
Yeah.
So that was what's funny is one of my other interviews, her website blew up because of COVID. So I did one of my addictions is like fermented foods. So like this lady, she makes all these different, sauerkrauts and all this stuff.
Oh,
I found her. It's called the Fermentation School. And it's just this big website where it's all these classes of like how to ferment different stuff. Right.
Sure.
And I didn't think she'd say yes to my podcast. And she said, sure. She's like out of Oregon. She's written 5 books, right? And I'm like, oh
awesome.
my God. So like she came on there, but in her thing, she was doing live court classes like you. And then she had to adapt. So she figured out, she got all the people that teach like some kind of fermentation, like, cooking classes, because a ton of it is out west, right? You make a living that way, right? I'm sure like Tai Chi out that way is like not even it's like 20 instructors probably out there, but she pulled them all together and made this website out of it. I was like, that is so neat. Like, so that's COVID universally created some cool things for us all. That way.
Yeah. A lot of my colleagues did a lot of remote work when that happened. They got webinars and Zoom classes and
stuff that me and you probably would have never got into, really.
Nope.
Like no, being in person is something different,
for sure,
in everything, right? So that's what I love, like what you're doing is such a energy connector too, just the story, just seeing Tony's transformation through that, and it wasn't long. It was literally not long. And now he thinks he can like run your show. That's what he told me.
No, he does.
He told me. So next time you see him, he thinks he can run the whole thing by himself. So I think you should just stick him in the middle.
Yeah. Tell him to stand up front. Yeah. It's pretty
I'll go
amazing.
to that. That'll be my first class. That'll be hilarious.
Right.
He absolutely adores it. But what's neat is watching the flow of the movement when he shows me what he learns. Right.
Sure.
He's like, it's Jeremy. So for me, it's an art, right? Like, like Tony, one of the things that I love about him is he's an artist. So like when he's telling me about playing the guitar, I can see there's just a different energy. And so it's really enjoyable to listen. Like when you're telling me about Tai Chi and Qigong, just you explaining it, you can feel the depth of it, and that's what I think if people could get to that again, get that motion. All of us have had something beautiful like that in their lives, right?
Well, and you can practice Tai Chi on your own and you can get a lot out of it. But when you're in a group, you feel the energy change. And I think things like, musicians and martial artists, dancers, all these folks, when they engage in their activity, physiologically, there's changes that are extremely healthy. The mind engaging in it's like the mind gets a break from all the stuff that's happening in the world for a little while, and your mind can just focus on this movement and this breathing, and it's such a huge boost. I mean, I can't count how many students over the years have reduced or eliminated different medications, or just I don't have to go into a room and look for a chair anymore. I can stand. I can, simple stuff, the quality of life stuff,
Yeah. So, I can totally see that. Like, I have another, she's a regular listen to my podcast, so she's going to love me talking about it again. She does square dancing, right? So she does square dancing. And then she found her group. She goes like once a month or something to like Chicago. Okay. And because she got so into it, but I mean, to watch her health change so dramatically, lost her husband in a horrible house accident where he fell, hit his head on a tree. The moment they moved into the area, it was just terrible. So, that amount of stress going in, and then to find her people, just to see that health start happening. And trusting in the process too. Like, I think that's one of our problems, societally, is we don't trust in that innate awareness to get there because we want to be there yesterday. Right. And I think that's part of just us being talked into that crap,
Well, the technology that's available now, it's a lot of people think they're inundated with all these ads of all this instantaneous fixing of things. And it's kind of good from where my perspective is, because I see all these guys, these AI Tai Chi guys. And
Right.
people see these ads and they're like, they're ripoffs. They don't
Dude,
really
what is
provide
that? It was like Tai
service.
Chi and Qigong have had the worst AI knockoffs
Yeah,
I've
it's
ever
crazy.
seen. I
And
was
so
like,
I got
I thought
people
chiropractic
showing
was
up.
bad.
Yeah, they show up at class and they're like, yeah, they had this thing, and it was like they don't really provide you with anything. And I said, yeah, it's better to come to a class with somebody who
Right.
can actually help you. It took
And
me a lot of years to even produce videos because I know most people, they'll get a video and I warn them. I say, here's your DVD, but you can't hang your clothes on it, because
correct.
most people, that's what they do with their treadmill eventually and all
1000%.
their other
Did you
stuff.
know? You want to hear a stat on that? Okay.
Yeah,
So
sure.
so out of all the people that buy home exercise equipment, they guess what the average use of that exercise equipment nationwide is?
I
Two
would say
times.
it's
That's it.
probably
It's
twice.
twice in the
Whoa.
lifetime of the equipment.
Holy
So they've
cow.
worked out 3 times putting it together, and
Yeah.
then the 2 times they used it. That's
Oh
like
my God.
ultimately, yes, it was insane when I heard that stat. I was like, "Oh my God." So that's one of the problems. But with a group, a lot of times there's so much more to what I think is the energy of it. Like,
Oh yeah.
because if everything's so flowing and going, and then you get that energy up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll change a day. It'll change
Yeah. Well,
your week,
the group is pretty dynamic because over the years I've noticed there'll be people coming to the classes and it's like their only social contact for the week.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
may be a widow or something like that. And so sure, they're learning some movement and they're benefiting from it, but they're also engaging with other people,
Yeah.
which more and more, there's a lot of people who just don't engage with actual humans
Yeah.
anymore. And it's a very bad thing for their health. It's
Mhm.
one of those things that's diminished lately. And I think that group dynamic provides a lot of benefit for people,
Yeah.
just
I
the
think so too.
socialization.
Right. And I think there's gonna be a group of kids coming up that are gonna be pretty interactive. I
Yeah.
do. You know, my youngest, I got a 21-year-old as of this
Yeah.
week, and then a 17-year-old. And
Yeah.
that's the group the 17-year-old, the high school, all the kids do something. Like
Oh,
it's
good.
crazy. Like, there was a time when a lot of kids weren't playing, sports and all those kind of things. But then the
Right.
COVID thing happened to a younger group,
Yeah.
and that younger group is like, there ain't no way you're leaving me at home. Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are playing sports and doing
That's
activities with their
great.
friends. Yeah, it's very strange. Like, because we all saw the writing on the wall. Everybody was playing video games and not hanging out ever
Sure.
again, right? And
Right.
now, like her class, I'm like, holy smokes. It's like,
That's
honey,
wild.
at some point get home. It like I didn't have to worry about that older one doing that, but man, my younger one, they got a group of friends, they're just doing things like we did, like
Yeah.
back in the
That's
day,
really
right?
good though. Yeah. That's really
Yeah,
good.
it's a whole different thing. I'd rather have you kind of fight me on the when do I get home, Dad? Versus
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah,
in the, like that kind of thing,
for
but
sure.
yeah, that is so cool. Well, Ed, thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add, I want to throw a couple things. Let's throw a couple notes. So what would be an optimistic quote for people that you would kind of throw at people, like in your Tai Chi or just in general in life?
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the things I talk to people a lot about, because a lot of people have an issue with focusing their attention. Um,
Yeah.
so, focusing the mind's attention is a skill that can be developed with repetition, just like any physical skill. And so, one of the things that one of my first instructors taught me, which is really easy to learn when you're practicing martial arts, but he would say you need to know the answer to 3 questions. The first one is, what time is it? You don't need a clock. It's now. Where are you? You're here.
Wow.
What are you?
Mhm.
You're this moment. That's it. If you're in the martial arts and it's a
Wow.
combative form of martial arts, if you're not here in this moment, you're going to have some bad things happen to you, right? But
Right.
also focusing on the mind's attention when I'm teaching people these mindful arts like Tai Chi, Qigong, they know that when they start doing it, if they don't pay attention, they get completely lost. And so it
Right.
helps them to practice that focusing of the mind's attention, which is a very powerful thing. I think just being here in this moment is a
Yeah.
big deal for a lot of
That's
people.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
So
what
that's
time
one of
is
the
it?
things.
That's so good.
It's
That is
now.
so good. Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. So here's another question for you.
Sure.
Uh, what is a thing of extreme human potential that you have seen or witnessed or seen in just your life in Tai Chi or Qigong?
One of the things that I guess stands out to me the most is just the incredible healing power of these practices.
Sure.
I've had so many different people. I used to teach for several years at the Cancer Center. I'm actually doing a workshop for them later this month.
Okay.
Um, so it was pretty powerful to me to have people who are going through some pretty life altering and severe treatment tell me that what I'm showing them is like pretty much eliminating their side effects. They're feeling great. I just found that was like, wow, this really validates this stuff. It's enhancing their immune system so much that they're getting
Yeah.
attacked with chemo, but they feel better. They feel okay. And so that's
Yeah.
one of the things that I feel like is one of the most powerful things about it is that enhanced health and immune system.
Yeah.
Myself personally, I mean, I've had so many different injuries over the year. I don't have an ACL in my right knee, shoulders and elbows dislocated, fingers and toes broken. We won't even talk about the concussions, but you know, I mean,
Right.
it's the martial arts that I've practiced are not all
Yeah.
gem. And
Right.
I'm amazed at how when I get up in the morning, and I always practice every morning, like an hour or
Yeah.
so every morning, my body literally changes from when I get up out of bed to when I'm done practicing. It's just an incredible,
Wow.
like verifiable feeling of your body is healthy again, kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
pretty incredible. And normal people who don't have all those past injuries probably would benefit even more because they're
Right.
not they're
Right.
not banged up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for
Yeah.
me in my chiropractic practice, the moment I learned from this 90-year-old that he was like, I just remember he driving in, getting adjusted, going on a bike ride, doing some golf. I'm like, dude,
Right.
you're 90. Like, what's
Yeah.
your secret? Because he looked great. He's like, I never leave the house without my daily routine. And this is like 20 years ago, let's say. So then
Sure.
after that, every day at work, that door does not open until I do my little 10-minute routine. But a
Yeah.
lot of the times, like now, I'm getting more and more where it's like, man, it's getting fun. I'm so used to that routine. It's getting bigger and bigger. And it's not
Yeah.
workout till you die or anything prior
Yeah.
to. It's this getting the flow of the energy going. And it's
Yeah.
just, it's like you're more effective, more efficient, all of those things. That's
Well,
so
one
it's
of
so
the
neat. Like
one of
you
the
said, it's
key,
like getting the energy going. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
one of the key principles behind what I teach people, I talk about taking small steps. I talk about, smallness tames because a lot of people will look at the whole thing and they'll go, oh, can't do it. They
Yeah.
freeze. So consistent effort over time, a little bit over time is way more powerful than a whole bunch once a week or once a month. And
Yep.
so if you can
Yep.
do five, like the short form I teach in Tai Chi takes a lot of people, it's like 5-6 minutes to do a repetition. I tell them if
Yeah.
they can take 5 to 10 minutes every day and do that, it'll literally change their entire life. And
Correct.
I'm not talking about them training for 2 or 3 hours a day, nothing like that, but a little bit. consistently over time is huge. Just makes a
Right.
huge difference.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
it
that
does. And
longevity thing.
it totally is. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
that flow. And, for us, neurology, the further away from your body your things
Mhm.
are, right? Your hands, your feet. Those are the
Yeah.
first things that you're going to lose, right? As far
Sure.
as neurology goes, if you're going to lose something. And
Right.
so you flowing that in, making
Yeah.
it a part of who you are, right?
Yeah.
Man, you blew me away back in the day, back when you talked about balancing on one foot. So I was like,
Okay.
I teach that all the time, but I never thought of that because
Right.
you're going through the ground, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
And
your hand, you're
you're
rooted.
expanding your body, right? You're
Yeah.
rooted in the ground.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
That
One of
then
my
changes how I'm
instructors,
going to teach it tomorrow. I tell you that.
one of my instructors used to talk about, he visualized, to build a solid base. He visualized that he was standing buried up to his knees in the earth. And so he was planted in the earth to build
Yeah,
that solid base. And building your root is a big part of most all systems of martial arts, but especially the internal arts. I joked this morning with the group about, well, what we should be doing is, and I got into a stance and I said, this is what we should be doing for an hour a day, every day for a year, and then you could learn to move. But I'd be
right,
here by myself next week because nobody
right.
would do that. But that's the emphasis of traditional training is build your root, and then
Yeah,
everything else starts flowing from the inside out instead of from the
right.
outside in. And that's a hard
Correct.
thing for a lot of people, but they can get
Well,
there through Tai Chi and Qigong. It still teaches it. It's just a little bit longer path.
right. And that's the
Yeah.
hardest thing because everything that makes money at us is outside in, right?
Oh, sure.
This is, all these self-healing things.
Mhm.
It's from inside out and it's there, but
Right.
no one's gonna try to sell you a bunch of stuff on it, except for the
Right.
AI Qigong guys. Other than that, that
Well,
is wild that you said that. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh my God, there is a ton of those.
yeah, yeah.
These little dudes, that Oriental guys, and they're like fake
They're ripped.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're ripped, and they're like, if I do Qigong for 2.5 seconds a day, your
Right.
your dad will look like this one is like your dad would look just like this
Right.
if you do 2.5 seconds. See? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
holy crap. That is funny you say that.
Yeah.
Chiropractic is going through their own thing. He's getting these people like smashing people with the noise
Oh
in the
man.
background. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my God, you think that's what we do? Okay. I'm
Oh,
it's like it can be physical for sure, but I'm not doing any of that. So
yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of people are trained to look to the external before the internal, and they're trained by our system to, have a problem and then address it, as opposed to preventing the problem from ever occurring, and in regards to
right.
their health. And so a lot of times I joke with the students and say, well, if
Yeah.
you keep this up, you'll never know what kind of things you've avoided, because Chinese medicine is based on prevention. The oldest Chinese
Correct.
medical textbook has a famous quote that says, helping someone who is ill is like digging a well when you're thirsty or forging weapons when it's time for war.
Oh
It's
my
too late.
God.
Don't bother. It's like they
Right.
didn't want to treat ill people because it should have been prevented. That's how their mindset was.
That is 1000% correct. I've met
Yeah.
a few.
And a long time ago, that's the way their physicians were. They were paid a stipend to keep the village healthy. If anybody got sick, the stipend stopped.
Yeah.
Crazy
Right.
idea, right?
Wow. That's
Keep people healthy.
right. Your job is to actually keep people healthy. Wouldn't that be
Well, yeah.
that would be amazing. Right. I mean, it'd be a tall order now because you'd be fighting off quite a bit.
Well,
But at the same time, it's like, imagine that. Like, imagine if we dug the well before we were thirsty.
yeah,
That would be kind
exactly.
of an interesting concept. So.
Prepare for battle.
Right. That is so crazy. Oh
Yeah,
my
tell them
God.
because it's a martial art. Your enemy is all these things that can happen to your health. So you're preparing yourself
Yeah.
to stave off those invaders,
Wow.
whatever. And so
Right.
doing that mindset is a good thing for some of these people to relate to because a lot of them aren't really ever going to do martial arts per se. But I can say
Yeah.
you're more likely to get sick than get attacked. So if you can prevent yourself from getting sick,
Right.
there you go. That's the
That's
martial
so
art part of it.
fascinating. My brain
Yeah.
is going so crazy with that. So it's kind of like you were a deputy, right? That's
Yes.
like you having to get attacked first
Yeah.
and then learning, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like there's the public safety. Well, I always tell people like if you ever watch, well, it's an old movie now, but it was called Osmosis Jones. It was this
Oh, yeah.
one
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah, yeah, where the immune system was the police, right?
Sure.
And so what we've done though is we keep the police active with all the garbage that we have in there, right? But
Yep.
their main job is like just to work when the enemy is
Something
there,
happened.
right? So
Yeah.
they're constantly they're ready to go. They have the training, they have all that stuff. And that's
Yep.
where if we could take that to another level, let's immune system ourselves to all the things, you know.
Right.
You know, that's so interesting. But
Yeah.
man, well, Ed, this was super fun. I appreciate you so much doing this. So
Yeah. No problem.
we'll have to
Man.
do it
It's
again
fun.
for sure. If you're ever up
Yeah.
for it, we'll do it again, man. I want to.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah. That
awesome.
sounds great.
So, but yeah, so if so for everybody out there, remember Kehoe Martial Arts, go check it out. He's got videos for sale, but you better go meet him first. That's what I say. I agree with that on that one.
Yeah.
Like, don't be buy them, but then go meet him if you want to do that
Sure.
way.
Yeah. You can do that.
We'll take it either way.
There's
But
a ton of free videos too on there.
yeah, exactly. That's the
There's a
fun
ton
part.
of videos you can check out that are just video
Man,
updates, little short ones.
1-to-1. Yeah,
Yeah.
fix your energies too, right? So that'll
Yeah.
be you got to come for that. So, but I
Sure.
appreciate you, my friend.
Yeah.
And,
Thanks, Jeremy.
no problem, man. And then you guys have a great night and see you on Sunday night at 8:30. I don't know what we're talking about yet, but it'll be fun. All right. All right, guys. Take it easy. See you, Ed.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.